everyone, it's Sarah and welcome to my crochet channel. Although today I'm going to show you how to finger knit. My granddaughter, who is 5, when she came over this week, asked me if I could show her how to knit a scarf. Well, I thought there isn't a better way to begin learning to knit than to finger knit. And we practiced a little bit, and then she said, Oma, which she calls me Oma, can you make me a video? I said, of course, my little dear. So I made this video to show you and her how to finger knit a lovely little scarf. So all you need to learn to finger knit is some fun yarn, which this one is called Soft Illusions LA Cool. My granddaughter decided to call it unicorn yarn because it's white with lots of rainbows going through it. It is a number 4 worsted weight, number 4 weight yarn. And you don't need a hook, you don't need any needles, you don't need anything but your yarn and your fingers. Let's get started making our finger knit scarf. We're going to put the yarn across our hand and hold it with our thumb. Then we'll go through our fingers back and forth. We'll go around the pinky and then go back and forth again. And that's what your first row looks like. It is a cast-on row. Alright, so now we're going to do that again. We're going to go through the fingers, going back and forth, around the pinky, and then around again. And then we'll hold that working yarn with our thumb. The yarn that's connected to our ball or skein of yarn is called our working yarn. This piece over here that's just hanging here, that's our tail of yarn, and we'll leave that out of the way. When you're doing your finger knitting, you can see we now have 2 loops on each finger. We're going to take the bottom loop starting at the pinky and put it over our finger. And this is where you need to be careful not to make your loops too tight, but you also don't want them too loose because they could be a little bit droopy. Now this first one we're just going to hold with our thumb, and now we're going to pick up our working yarn again, and I'm going to push those loops down. We'll start at our pointer and go around till we get around our pinky and then back around again, and we'll hold it with our thumb. Pull those down. We'll start with our pinky again. Pulling the bottom loop over our finger. Alright, let's do a couple more and then I'll show you what the scarf will begin to look like. Alright, we've done a couple of rows, and I'm going to turn my hand over, and you can see that the little scarf is forming down the back of our hand. Isn't that pretty? Now, when you're first starting, you don't have to begin with such a fuzzy yarn. You might want to try a thick yarn that doesn't have all this little extra fuzz on it. Alright, let's keep going. We're still got our tail back here, and we'll just continue to do what we've been doing. Wrapping our yarn around, holding with our thumb, pushing our loops down, taking our bottom loop and bringing it to the top. Right over the tips of our fingers. And you'll notice I'm bending my finger to get the loop over. Just like that. And then I sort of take this and pull it down. There's our little scarf forming. And this is a fun thing to do. It's a great project, like my granddaughter, for wanting to learn to make a scarf. It's also make a great Girl Scout project or a church project. Or if you have a boy or a girl who just really, a child or grandchild that just really wants to learn to do some yarn crafts, this is a great beginning project. And it's also a great project if your child wants to make a teacher gift. Wouldn't it be lovely for a teacher to receive a beautiful scarf that one of the students in her class finger knitted? And that's how easy it is to make a finger knit scarf. Isn't this beautiful? I love this yarn. It is just gorgeous and very unicornish. All right, so now we've got the scarf as long as we want it. How do we get the loops off our finger? It's really quite simple. You just take the loop on your pinky and slide it over to your ring finger and then loop that loop over it. Then we'll take this loop, loop it on our middle finger, loop our bottom loop over it. Then we'll take the loop on our middle finger, stick it on our top pointer finger, and loop that loop over it. So we just have one loop left. We'll grab our scissors and cut our yarn, and then we'll just pull this right through that loop, and that just closes that right up. And now we have a beautiful unicorn, or whatever color of yarn you chose, finger knit scarf. And I like to take the ends of it. If you want to make it into a cowl, you can take the ends of it and just attach those two strings together. And just add a little bow, and now you've got a little cowl they can put right over their head.